Welcome everyone to the Virtual Ball Boys podcast. My name is Chris, and I am joined once again from my good friend, Matt.
Ah!
Jesus fucking Christ. Are you okay?
So in our December 5th podcast titled "This Is a Lot," I started my intro by saying, "What if I started a podcast by just screaming really loud?"
Oh my god!
and then you said you should do that in the Super Bowl week because I'll forget about it.
Yeah, I did! Oh my god! That is great. I am so happy you remembered. It is like a season finale now because it's like we're tying off all our loose ends. Wow, that is perfect. Anyways, that's good. That was a good start. Welcome everyone to our Super Bowl edition of the Virtual Ball Boys podcast. It has been a long time coming. It's been a long season, a season where did we think even in the beginning if we would make it to this point? I don't know.
Not really sure.
We didn't know for sure.
But through the power of capitalism, we made it.
Right, exactly. We didn't think that we'd make it, and we are here. We are on the cusp of the kickoff to the Super Bowl. Of course, let's knock on wood, anything could happen, I guess, in the next few days.
Right.
But barring that, it looks like the Super Bowl is going to be going off as planned. And I am so excited about it. What is your excitement level for this game and Sunday, just in general?
I think that if the teams were maybe a little bit different, I think the excitement level would be a little higher. I'm at about a 7.5.
Okay, that's solid.
Yeah, if the Bills were in, I'd be at about a 9.
Okay. By
comparison.
Yeah, I would say I'm relatively excited. Like I would say I'm at an 8 myself. I think that I would be probably a lot more anxious if there was a team that hasn't won a Super Bowl in the mix. Like to me, like that is kind of a barometer of like how much excitement or dread I have for a Super Bowl. Dread would more likely be for teams that like have like the two teams playing have like 4 or 5 championships each type situation. It's just like, okay, well, it's just another day for these two teams.
Right.
But yeah, it's a great matchup. It's really exciting. And I'm super excited to break down all of our different, all the different things that we're looking forward to in just a little bit. We also will be talking commercials.
We will. That's a fun thing.
That was really the only thing I gave a crap about with the Super Bowl back, like, I don't know, as like early as like 7 or 8 years ago. So that's we're gonna tie that in. We're gonna give.
But first.
Oh,
we have a Matt watch to discuss.
Yes. You're a little early. I was still talking about the recap.
Well, the Matt watch has to be a surprise.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Hit me with it then.
So the Lions have traded quarterback Matthew Stafford to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Goff, the Rams' first-round picks in 2022 and 2023, and a third-round pick in 2021. This is a shakeup for both teams, one of which is entering a rebuild, one of which is hoping that this can put them over the edge for the Super Bowl next year. This has been Matt Watch.
Yeah, that was gonna be our first segment anyway. But I totally hear what you're saying. It is as big of a Matt Watch update as we could have going into the Super Bowl. We had a slightly to a lesser extent, but still a shocking or surprise quarterback trade just a few years ago when Alex Smith was traded from Kansas City to Washington. But this is a quarterback exchange. We have two franchises that have completely moved on from their franchise guys. 2 number 1 overall picks, former number 1 overall picks.
Yeah, first time that has ever happened.
that they got to trade for each other. So it is a very weird, surreal trade. What are your thoughts on either side of this trade?
So I think this is one of those NFL trades that works out well for both sides. Both sides get what they need out of this. Rams are a win now team, and they need that extra consistency when it comes to quarterback to take them to this next level. The reason the Lions haven't been bottom of the barrel for the entire time that Stafford's been the quarterback is because Stafford has been the quarterback.
Yeah.
So he is this type of quarterback who's really consistent, can play really well even in awful situations. And for the Lions, they're in a rebuild. They signed their head coach to a 6-year contract. They know they're going to need some time to build this team back up, and these picks are really going to help. And Jared Goff will just be there to bridge the gap, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we were seeing reports about, and this was after, Doug Peterson was let go with his situation with Philadelphia with the second overall pick of the 2016 draft, Carson Wentz. The guy that went right before him has started having friction with his head coach and Sean McVay. Yep. And that was kind of the sign that like maybe the Rams would be looking to move on from him, and but they needed to have someone that could carry the load of this win now team, this great defense, this offense that has a lot of good players on it. That I mean, I think the Matthew Stafford is definitely like a missing piece of the puzzle. Not that I do still think that the offense for the Rams could improve.
For sure.
A bit. I don't know how much cap room they have left at this point.
Not a lot.
So it probably won't be a major. They probably won't have another major haul like this. You texted when I told you that this happened, and you went to Twitter. Your first reaction was the Rams don't like first round picks,
and, which is true.
Yeah, it's completely true. They have not picked a first round pick since Jared Goff.
Right,
but that's the surreal thing.
Look who they are getting out of it. They got Jalen Ramsey. They have Matthew Stafford now. Like they're choosing known commodities versus potential.
Yeah. No, yeah, it is like, why not invest our capital in a player that we've seen succeed at this level, that we have seen perform, relatively well, and instead of like just taking a gamble, because at the end of the day, like this team consistently, even the years that they didn't make the playoffs, which was last year. They're still like picking in like the 18, 19 range. Like
right.
That is no guarantee to be a success, just as much as picking number 1 overall is not even that much of a success. Exhibit A, Jared Goff. Like it didn't work out, and at the end of the day, like they decided to set it out for the Lions. I think it's a good trade for both sides. I think it's good news for Brad Holmes, who just comes from the Rams organization to take over as the Lions general manager. It's a good sign for. I wonder if they like tried to push Brad Holmes to get hired for the Lions so that way they could take Matthew Stafford from the Lions. I'm now kind of curious about that, but I am like the Lions are coming out saying like. It's not so much that we think that Jared Goff is a bridge. We think that he's the franchise quarterback. And what do you think of that notion? Do you think that they legitimately feel like that they could fix Jared Goff and get him to a position where he might be able to succeed there for years to come?
There's always the chance, right?
Yeah.
The problem is we've seen Jared Goff when he's not necessarily at his full potential. And it's hard to be at your full potential when the rest of the team around you is so bad.
Right.
So I'd like to say that they could, and there's still a chance that they can, but it is the Lions.
Right. And
so
it is a very strange situation because we haven't gotten the one read of Dan Campbell as far as that he's accountable. And that's really all we know about Campbell at this point. Is that, and we know that he is a very passionate coach. And we know that Anthony Lynn is the offensive coordinator with the Lions now. So that's
that I am interested in.
And I don't know, like I Anthony Lynn has been a good coach. I understand that people with time management shit was not great, but everything else about his coaching has been solid over the years. When it comes to players enjoying Anthony Lynn's presence, and working with him, and people having high praise for him as a coach. So I would be curious to see if he works with Goff and if things could improve. They do have weapons there. I mean, Galladay.
They do. Galladay is great.
There are players there that can succeed. I agree with you though. I do think this team is moving towards rebuild territory and probably will be on that like 0-16 watch. That we kind of have like on a yearly basis at this point for all these NFL teams. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I think a good trade for both sides.
Hell yeah.
All right. With that out of the way, that was a nice little dunk in the old off-season swimming pool that we had in this past weekend, and now we are getting out. We're drying off, and we're getting right back into Super Bowl mode. As we are now going to set the stage for you guys. All right, we have some of our favorites. We have a lot of storylines to work off of, a lot of different elements that that are interesting about this matchup. And I think that, Matt, you're going to start off with the one that has been talked about to death at this point.
I mean, we got the old goat and the baby goat facing off.
Yeah, there you go.
Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes. This idea of, okay, the past 20 years, Tom Brady has been it. He's been in 10 of these things since he entered the league.
Yeah,
which
wild.
was about 20 years ago. It's insane. This guy has dominated the NFL for so long, and if there was any more debate about who was the best person to ever play this game, I don't think that debate exists anymore. However,
yeah,
that might be changed because of the baby goat Patrick Mahomes, who in his second season led his team as a full-time starter, led his team to a Super Bowl win, first one in 50 years for the team, and he's right back in here again. And for the foreseeable future, we'll keep doing that. So even though Brady's done it for the past 20. We're going to see if Mahomes is going to be the one to do the same, if he will take down the old guard, or if the old guard will reign supreme once again in terms of the quarterback.
100%. It is going to be fascinating to see. It's Brady has pretty much proven everything, with the exception of winning a Super Bowl with someone other than the Patriots. And that's where we're at. And Patrick Mahomes, I mean, if he wins the Super Bowl, he's already surpassed the pace that Brady was at in the start of his career. We could see the start of the basically the handing off of the torch on Sunday, if Mahomes moves on to win. I'm even more intrigued, in my opinion, about the coaches that are in this matchup. For a long time, I've enjoyed seeing Andy Reid coach, and I've enjoyed Bruce Arians as a coach as well. The no risk and no biscuit operation that he has run from his time in Arizona to now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who knew that he would get another shot to go on a deep run? And I'm with how good those Arizona teams were, it's surprising that his first appearance as a head coach in the Super Bowl is with the Buccaneers instead. Just a great, crazy journey for him as a coach, from, having to take over for Chuck Pagano as an interim head coach in Indianapolis while Pagano was fighting cancer. Won a Coach of the Year award as an interim head coach in the Colts. Spent years as an offensive coordinator for guys like Peyton Manning and Roethlisberger and quite a few others. Finally got the opportunity in Arizona, had the few years there that was with Carson Palmer leading the way, and now he's coaching with Tom Brady, and he has the opportunity to win a Super Bowl finally, and yeah, like I said, I'm happy for him because he's just been such a major staple in the league for so long, and finally to get his opportunity to to coach in this. But Andy Reid too, like Andy Reid is considered one of the greatest coaches of all time already, and if he can really cement that with a second Super Bowl, not that I didn't think he was before, but I think that would put him into like being locked up for this for a berth into the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely,
I would think. What else do you got?
I had another thing in mind, but I'm actually going to talk about this instead.
Sure.
Last year there was the thing about the fact that this was the first time there were two red teams in the Super Bowl. We got that again 2 years in a row, and I wonder if that's. I doubt it is, but what if this was the first time that two repeating color combinations repeated in a row, which thinking back, probably not the case because a lot of teams double dipped.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I would have to
let me take a look.
Research into the years of Super Bowl of matchups. I mean, I'm sure that there's so many. There's a good group of red teams. There's a lot of blue teams.
There is a lot of blue teams.
There's a lot of blue teams now. I would imagine that blue has been repeated year over year.
Yeah, let me take a look at. Okay, this could count. We had San Francisco in 1989 to 1990. We had. Oh, you know what? This makes it easier. Dallas Buffalo happened 2 years in a row. 93-94.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
there you
go.
So
that's your double blue.
That counts.
Double blue.
Double blue.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, this is another thing this is another little storyline I just thought of that will derive from will not include the initial list I had here. There's a lot of diversity in this Super Bowl. I mean, especially. The Buccaneers have two black coordinators with Leftwich and Bowles. Todd Bowles. I forgot about Todd Bowles. Former Jets coach, getting his opportunity.
Is in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And of course Bieniemy on the other side of Kansas City Chiefs. There's also the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has two female coaches as well. Lori Locust, defensive line assistant, and I hope I can pronounce this right. Meryl Javadifar.
Nice.
Javadifar. I apologize if I butchered that, but she's also the assistant strength and conditioning coach. And then Sarah Thomas, the official, the first female official, will be the first woman to officiate the Super Bowl as well. So just it's also about the diversity of this league. So you also were going to bring up the Tampa Bay element of this.
Yes, the fact that they are home. Tampa Bay is hosting a Super Bowl for the first time ever. The last time we got close was the Vikings a little bit ago.
Yeah,
where they almost got the chance to, but sadly fell short to the greatest quarterback of all time, Nick Foles.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But yeah, they get to be home. Unfortunately they're not allowed to fire cannons.
Yes,
if they score, which makes sense. They do still have to try to make it a neutral game atmosphere. But there's a giant fucking pirate ship there anyway, so
you know what? I disagree with this notion. Why couldn't they fire the cannons for Kansas City?
For both teams. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, why not just fire
make it
up?
Cooler.
Yeah, there you go. And if you want to if you really want to make it neutral, not make it seem like change up how the cannons are fired, have confetti come out of the cannons or something, and maybe change up the colors each time. If you're able to fill it up that quickly, I don't know. It's just there's ways that they can work this out. And it's very much a disappointing on that front. But Tampa Bay, beautiful Florida city, a good another once again a back-to-back Florida situation in the Super Bowl. So obviously the storyline of this season, once again, it's going to be carrying over to the Super Bowl, and it's the idea of COVID being just hanging over all of our heads during this time, and what impact is it going to have on the Super Bowl? Well, they are still, despite, I feel like some people out there, including myself, where I'm like, I don't think this is a good idea, but the NFL's going to do it anyway. They are going to have at least 20,000 fans in the stadium for this game. And we've already seen the Chiefs get somewhat impacted by the COVID situation. Their hairstylists got COVID, and Demarcus Robinson, who had the haircut the day before, had to go into quarantine, and Daniel Kilgore was halfway through his haircut when they found out that the hairstylist had COVID. So they pulled him immediately. So he has half a haircut. And he's also in protocol. Both of them are expected, as long as they don't test positive, to get back to the team on time to play in the game. I feel a whole bunch of uncomfortableness about this entire season having been just played with everything going on. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it looks like, and knock on wood again, but it looks like things are going to go off and be okay when it's all said and done. Hopefully.
I think the other thing we need to worry about now is the rain.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is gonna rain, and all those cardboard cutouts are gonna be soaked, and they're all just gonna be like rainbow like caricatures on the sidelines. No one's gonna discern what the fuck they are. You have one last one?
No, those were all.
For me, I added you had the tight end matchup.
Yeah, but I thought we were going to stick with 3, so I switched and did the color one.
All right, fine. That's fine. All right. So Brady, Gronk and Kelsey were two of the tight ends. Is also a showcase of this matchup.
Kind of like old guard to new guard, although Kelsey has been around for a while.
Yeah. It's kind of like the the two greatest quarterbacks of all time, potentially, if we want to put more homers on that level, and the two greatest tight ends of all time, or one of the among the greatest tight ends of all time. Among the greatest, yeah. Yeah, in Gronk and Kelsey. So it is going to be an interesting matchup on that one. I also have just sporadic connections here. So the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, Steve Spagnuolo, his claim to fame is the 2 times in which the Giants went to the Super Bowl. He was the defensive coordinator, and he led the defense against Tom Brady and shut down Tom Brady both times.
All right.
And that was, so he is once again has the opportunity to coach the Kansas City Chiefs defense, which has played well in January, in this game, and potentially has the potential to shut down this Brady-led offense one more time. Also, Tyrann Mathieu and Bruce Arians. I mean, this was the Arizona connection. Bruce Arians drafted Tyrann Mathieu when they were in Arizona, and Mathieu, of course, had the legal troubles that he did going into the league, and he was given a chance, and he has since turned around his life, Mathieu, and has been one of the best safeties out there. I mean, he's one of the best safeties in the league. And it's partly thanks to Bruce Arians, who's coaching on the other sideline in this game. So that's a fun storyline as well. And just a little note, LaShawn McCoy has a chance to go back-to-back seasons where he's like he's gonna pull like a LeGarrette Blount, where he wins one championship with the Chiefs last year, and then wins it again this year, but this time with the Buccaneers.
Okay, but is he going to be active in this one?
I don't think he was active with the Chiefs.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
So,
but is he going to be active with this one? Because, you're on the Super Bowl winning team, but you didn't play in the game.
Yeah, but he still has a chance to have two titles.
Oh, I know, but I want him to not be active.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We'll see if he isn't. Leonard Fournette has had quite the off season, and I would guess that Ronald Jones would get
I
time as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean, those are going to be the top two, but who's behind them? That's the question. That is the question.
That is the question. We'll follow that storyline. All right. We'll talk more about the game later when we make our picks, but for now, let's turn our attention to the commercial draft that we will be doing. So yes, we have the NFL has a way of really making every element of this Super Bowl a must-watch, including the commercials. The commercials are a special part of the game because they are just weird, wacky, and only air once, pretty much, with a few exceptions. And it's going to be fun, and it's always interesting to see what kind of Super Bowl commercials are going to air. So I'm decided to make a game out of it. What we're going to do is we're going to draft 5 commercials each, and whichever set of commercials airs first is the winner. So essentially, if my 5, let's say I have 5 and you have 5, Matt. If your 5 commercials air before my 5 commercials do, then you win the draft, essentially. Cool. So cool. It's basically it could happen where I have 4 that air right away, but the last one, the very last commercial, doesn't air until basically the end of the Super Bowl. After all yours airs, you win. So it really is
last commercial loses.
Is all or nothing, essentially, on this one. So we've looked at the commercials. There's quite a few articles out there and quite a few videos out there already of the commercials. We haven't watched any of them. We have only going off of the titles themselves and the premises of them. So with that being said, Matt, I'll give you the floor. You pick first.
All right. Well, I have to go with the 101, and that's the Bud Light commercial.
Okay.
Because
all right.
But Bud Light, they kill it every year, and because of how much they do with commercials, they're gonna have it early on. They're very popular, so it is going to be an earlier commercial. So I am going to start out with the Bud Light Avengers commercial, and I haven't seen any of these.
No, absolutely.
But there is another Bud Light one, so the first Bud Light one is what I will go.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, so we're not gonna have it be, we're gonna focus on the part ones of these commercials. There's some commercials out there that have a part 1 and a part 2.
Yes,
it's part 1 that needs to air, not both. Is what we're going with.
All right.
I'm just curious. Do you agree with that notion?
No, let's do first airing. So now that I said Bud Light, I get all the Bud Lights.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right.
And as soon as the first Bud Light comes on, that's it. Bud Light crossed off the list.
Okay. There you go. So I'm gonna take a similar approach then with my first pick. I'm gonna take Michelob Ultra on this one. That looks like, I don't know if I pronounced that right. I hope I did.
Michelob.
Something
like that.
The first one's featuring a bunch of athletes. Second one's gonna feature Don Cheadle. But that's gonna be the first round is gonna be the athletes airing with Serena Williams, Anthony Davis, and Peyton Manning. So I'm taking that one. That's gonna be my first pick.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are we gonna do Snake?
Sure, let's snake it to make it more fair. I'll take Frito-Lay's after that. I'm going to take the Frito-Lay commercial. That is with all the football legends, Troy Aikman, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw. Marshawn Lynch is doing the narration for it. I'll do Frito-Lay. I think that they're going to want, plus the commercial title is called "'Twas the Night Before Super Bowl," so I'd imagine that it happens early. So I'm going to go with that.
I can see that. All right. Next one we're going to go with is from a company who I've really enjoyed the advertisements for lately. And I could have turned this into a VBB intro, but is it weird that a ton of State Farm commercials have to constantly explain to Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes that they don't have the Rodgers rate or the Patrick Price or what the fuck ever? Like, he has to explain multiple times that doesn't exist.
Right, yeah.
And maybe that's why they're recruiting someone new. I'm going to draft the State Farm commercial.
The State Farm commercial. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. I haven't seen that on this list yet. I'll look for it. But I try.
Scroll down a little bit.
I trust that it's there.
Yeah.
No, it's. I'm definitely looking forward to Oh yes. Yep. Jake from State Farm recruits another player, but it's a tease, so we don't know who it is.
Yes, we don't know who it is yet.
We'll see.
It will be someone.
Yeah. There you go. All right. What's your next pick?
All right, the next one I'm gonna go with another heavyweight in terms of commercials.
Sure.
Because again, I think they're gonna have it early. And I'm also I don't know what the fuck it means. Matthew McConaughey is flat? Because it's for Doritos 3D, but that reads like a Yahoo Answers. So
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what the hell that means.
All right.
Yeah, but how excited are you for 3D Doritos? Oh, you're not a big Dorito guy.
I'm not a Doritos fan.
3D Doritos. I'm excited to see those come back. I have to pick those up at some point.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna go. Tide was a big part of the last set of last Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna say that they play a big part of this one. I'm gonna draft the Jason Alexander role for the Tide commercial, where apparently he's gonna be was it stepped on or something like that?
Stepped on, spit on, and sat on.
Jesus. Oh, there you go. That's my pick there. And let's do Wayne's World.
Damn.
Sorry.
Snipe me.
Sorry. The Wayne's World one, which is like right on the top here. I don't know for what. Oh, it's for Uber Eats. So it's the Uber Eats commercial. But Wayne's World is reuniting for
my hometown movie. You sniped from me.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I had to get it in before it was too late. So yeah, I'll take that one.
Okay.
You got the last two. You got your last.
I got two more, and then you got one to last.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. I'll go with I'm gonna go with a more serious one.
Okay.
No, you know what? No, fuck this. I'm gonna go with Robin Hood.
You're going with the fucking.
I go with the company that is going to be in a fuck ton of legal trouble, and they're running a Super Bowl ad.
I saw that today. I was just like, wow. All right. All right.
So I gotta go with that. That one I'm a little scared about because I feel like it's one that would go more towards the end, like less people to see it.
Yeah. We are all investors is the name of the commercial. I don't know though. Who knows? Sometimes they go serious near the beginning of the Super Bowl. Weirdly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. And then the last one, I'm gonna do this one because it is it combines my least favorite condiment, with one of my least favorite comedians, the Amy Schumer one.
Okay.
Amy Schumer mayonnaise one. Because her comedy has about as much flavor as mayonnaise does, and I fucking hate mayonnaise. So
So you're just like, all right, if it airs, it's out of the way. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it gets out of the way, and it's good synergy between mayonnaise and this comedian.
Right. There you go. I get it. I completely understand that for sure. All right. For my last pick, I have two here that I want to pick from. All right, I'm going to go, just because I think it's a little bit more star-studded than the other one I had in mind. I'm going to go the Cheetos commercial.
Okay, that's
with
a good one.
Shaggy and Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
Good choice.
I
was really tempted to do the Four Seasons Total Landscaping one.
I forgot that one was happening too.
But I didn't want to take anyone that specifically referenced the events of 2020.
That's the Fiverr's kind of marketing off of that.
Hey, you know this thing? Yes, we've been fucking living in it this entire goddamn time.
Yeah, it's funny. The other one I was thinking about was the one I mentioned right before the podcast, which was the Dan Levy holds an M&M captive, which I thought was great. But that would have been my sixth draft pick if we kept going.
Yeah.
But all right, so that is the commercial draft. Would you like to state your team once more?
Yes, if I can remember it, because I didn't write it down.
I wrote it down if you want.
All right, so let's see. I got Bud Light.
Mm-hmm.
I got Doritos. I got Hellman's.
Yep.
I've got State Farm.
Yep.
And I have shit.
The corrupt one.
Don't tell me.
Oh.
The corrupt one? Oh, Robin Hood.
There you go. And I got Michelob Ultra, Frito-Lay's, Jason Alexander Tide commercial, Wayne's World, and Cheetos Shaggy. I wrote it down as. So there you go. That is your commercial draft, and we will so to follow along with us and mark it off like your bingo card and see which one of us wins. I'm probably gonna end up forgetting.
We should live tweet throughout the Super Bowl at each other.
Yeah.
I'll try there's that commercial.
Yeah. I'll try to I'll record it on my DVR just in case some bullshit happens, and I just I'm not paying attention. But I imagine I would be. All right. Before we do our final two segments, it's time for the VBBFL Week 9 recap. We are nearing the end, folks, of this league. We have one more regular season week that we'll have after the Super Bowl, the Saturday following the Super Bowl, and then we'll be in playoff mode. But for now, let's go ahead and let's do our recap. Matthew, if you'd like to get us started.
Sure. Never call me that again.
Okay. Fair enough.
The Privateer skid is no more. Privateers went up against Phoenix City after a touchdown reception by Octodad and another score where Big Boss threw Kirby into the end zone with the ball. Peabody and Drybones tried to keep the offense going, but Steve's struggles cost the Phoenixes the game. Matt the Me, Sly Cooper, and even Pyramid Head all contributed scores, and Miss Pac-Man kicked 5 extra points for a 35-22 Perth Amboy victory. Perth Amboy still sits in third place at 5-4, while the Phoenixes are stuck in last at 1-8.
Yeah, next up, the Brainerd Paladins at East Chicago Blacksmiths. Bayonetta won the deeply personal kicker battle between her and Eggman, but it was the Egg who had the last laugh. Diddy Kong and King Boo start the game strong for the Paladins, each scoring a touchdown. Toad and Mewtwo exchanged touchdown runs to make it a 27 game going into the half. Sable closed the gap for East Chicago to kick off the third quarter, but Diddy Kong ended the comeback with a contested catch and score. Brainerd pulls the upset off, 27-21, and are 4-5 on the season. East Chicago falls out of first place, but sits at 6-3.
Next up, Anaconda at Escondido. Anaconda has played with their fans' hearts so much they might as well be cardiologists. But that doesn't make any sense. The Mountaineers started strong with a normal catch by Yoshi. Responses from Ness and Foxy on the Artisan side led to the team being down by 6, but Chaz McFeely's bomb to Isabel helped to make it 14-13. Unfortunately for them, the rest of the game was almost all Escondido with touchdown catches by Phone Guy and Claire Redfield to seal the game away. Escondido wins 33-20 and moves to 5-4. Anaconda sits at 1-8, locked in the basement of the West. Because cardiologists are doctors, Chris.
Okay,
I know they're hot doctors, but they don't play.
Cardiologists are
they're heart doctors, but they treat hearts. They don't play.
Okay, well they treat the hearts, so they play with the heart to treat with the heart. Mansfield at Weatherford. The Weavers' defense delivers the biggest upset of Week 9 as they held the Weatherford red-hot offense to just 2 scores. Mario threw everyone off and gave his first touchdown pass to Ratchet to start the game. Crash caught a wide-open touchdown pass to tie the game at the half. The third quarter got weird as Sonic disguised himself as Ratchet to finally get Mario to throw a touchdown pass to him. Then, Tracer and Lucio ran a crisscross route to confuse the defenders, with Lucio catching the score to make it 14-13. However, Mansfield sealed the victory with a catch in flight by Flappy Bird, and Samus could not lead the Sheriffs to score again. Final score, 21-13. Mansfield moves to 7-2 on the year and to first place in the East. Weatherford falls to 7-2 and ends the 7-game win streak. And that is your VBBFL Week 9 update.
I appreciate you, and I apologize for making fun of your writing.
They play with the heart, they treat the heart, they play with the heart.
Yeah, I don't think they should play with it.
Beep, beep, beep. Just like poking at it.
God damn it.
All right, moving on. We have so before the Super Bowl, we have the NFL honors, which is going virtual this year. I don't know what I can imagine it's going to be even worse, virtually. But we do have some rewards to give out. As the Hall of Fame stuff we used to do. I don't care about that. So we're just going to focus on the awards instead. Our final NFL award predictions. Let's go from bottom up here. All right. I'm going to start with comeback player of the year. Who do you think is comeback player of the year?
I think this is the easiest selection on the list.
Yeah, definitely.
Why is it not Alex Smith?
It has to be, right?
It has to be.
It has to be. I mean, he didn't play very well.
Dude almost died.
But yeah, right. He almost died.
And
like
got to the playoffs. Yeah. That's enough.
Yeah, no, he absolutely deserves to get this award. I agree with you. I as well went with comeback. With Alex Smith for comeback. Next up, Defensive Rookie of the Year. I know Chase Young is the favorite. I went with Antoine Winfield just because I still thought that he had a really solid season with the Buccaneers as in the secondary. He's going to be one of the reasons why this Buccaneers defense is going to be tough to play against on Sunday. What do you think though for D?
I also went with someone other than Chase Young. I went with Jeremy Chin again.
There you go.
Low chance of happening, but great player.
Yeah, we gotta give our odes where they are necessary,
Yep.
All right, next up, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Who do you got?
In the Battle of the Justins, Herbert won.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you. I went with Herbert as well.
I feel like if a rookie quarterback breaks the rookie touchdown record, it's impossible for them not to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, it's over. It's over at that point, and you just kind of have to accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do think Jefferson's going to be a star in the league. He'll have I'm sure a great career with the Vikings. But I think Herbert he broke records. He played so well at times that we know that Patrick Mahomes versus Justin Herbert is going to be a great matchup for years to come.
Hell yeah!
So it's all good. All right. Defensive Player of the Year. People are gonna get cute with this pick. I say don't get cute. Pick the obvious one. It's Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald has time and time again shown that he is the best defensive player, probably, may I say, ever in the league.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It is up there at least. He has really been has just consistently been a dominant force in the league, and I just think that he deserves yet another title at this point.
Hats off to you, Aaron.
Yeah, is that who you're going with as well?
Yeah, I had TJ Watt initially, but okay. I want to give it to Aaron.
Yeah, why not?
People with two first names are really powerful.
It's too. No wonder he's such a force. You can't stop that. Speaking, what's your Opoi?
Speaking of two first names, Derrick Henry. Same hat. Derrick
Henry. I went with Derrick Henry as well. You have to give it to him just because he would not be eligible for MVP because that's like the quarterback award at this point.
Right. I feel like Opoi has become the unofficial. I don't know what's happening with my throat right now. Do you fucking hear this?
Yes, I do. But
do you hear how weird my voice is right now? I don't. Okay, it's getting back to normal.
Well, welcome, Patrick. I'm so happy to be interviewing you on this on this podcast.
God, I can't wait to listen back to that. That was weird.
It's not. It wasn't as bad as the Patrick Mahomes, but
okay,
felt it was good timing.
Yeah. I mean, 2,000 yards. I feel like Opoi has kind of relatively become the best offensive non-quarterback award.
Right. That's how I feel it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Except that year that Mahomes won it.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm picking Derrick Henry because 2,000 yards needs to give some sort of accolades.
Yes.
At that point. All right. Last but not least, the MVP award. This was a battle between Rodgers and Mahomes down the stretch. And let's remember too that these picks, or these votes are put in before the postseason. So
Yes.
whatever happened with Aaron Rodgers, that is not going to count against him necessarily. So what do you feel is going to be the MVP? Do you think that he wins it, or do you think Mahomes won it anyway?
So in my heart, it's Josh Allen, but
That's true. I forgot about Josh Allen being in the race. Yeah.
Yeah. So in my heart, it's Josh Allen, but in my brain, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
That man, like, he had his best season this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
After they drafted his replacement, like,
that was
the Packers need to draft Packers need to draft a quarterback in the first round every year that they have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we just need to keep on evaluating, the position, That's
right.
All. That's all we're doing. I'm with you. I'm going Aaron Rodgers, and I think I would have loved for Allen to go in and get it. And I feel like Mahomes is just consistently showing that he's one of the, that he's going to end up potentially overtaking Brady someday. That's a hard mountain to climb, but but you can't look at what Aaron Rodgers did and not give it to him after what was again, like he put this team on his back at times, and even with not having like the best wide receiver group out there, still put on a show and still worked with what he had, and kind of silenced a lot of people who felt like the Packers draft class was crappy in some ways in that sense. I'm with you. I'm going Aaron Rodgers for MVP.
All right.
And now, Matt, I think I did this last year, so I want you to take this. Give us the lead-in to our picks for the Super Bowl.
So, here we have it. Super Bowl 55. LV. Shame it wasn't in Las Vegas, but...
Yeah, that's true.
Coincidence? Anyway, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions, with pretty much the same team they had last year, taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady getting to join a new team and show off what he's made of outside of Bill Belichick. He has more than done that. They are the first wild card team, a 5 seed, to make it since the Giants?
Ravens,
I believe. Okay.
I believe.
Which was the year after.
You know what? You're right. I think it was the Giants, because I think the Ravens made it to were in the wild card round, but I think they won their division. So
gotcha.
My mistake.
Okay. So first wild card team to make it since the Giants, and they have dominated the entire postseason.
Yeah.
This matchup is, if you're a fan of one of these two teams, it is wild. But there's also a sense of, for a lot of fans, a sense of you don't want either of them to win, because either you don't like some players on the Chiefs, you don't like the fact that their mascot is the way it is, or you don't like Brady or some of their players. It's a little interesting.
Yep. 100%.
From that front, however, still people on both sides of the ball that definitely deserve it. A team is not one player.
Yep.
And it is going to be a very offensive battle, I feel. Then again, we said that about Rams Patriots. That didn't happen. So, what do you think about this matchup in Super Bowl 55?
Yeah, it's been a matchup that I've been sitting on and thinking about which way I wanted to go with it. And I feel like you go back to when these two teams played earlier in the year, and this was the last game that the Buccaneers lost before they went on the win streak that they're currently still on. And that was a game where the Chiefs, exposed the crap out of the secondary for the Bucs. and just was ranting all over them. And there's a very good chance that that's going to happen again in this game. I also look at the Kansas City's secondary and how tightly they were contesting the different receivers, and that they were basically sticking to everyone and making it impossible for Josh Allen to get the ball down the field at times. So I recognize that. I recognize that Mahomes is the next, best thing, in the league, and it's going to be for quite some time. I think that in my heart, I don't care who wins. I'll be put that straight out. I love both. I love both teams a lot, and I like whatever happens. I feel like in my heart, I would love to see Bruce Arians get his first Super Bowl. And I feel like there's something about this Bucs defense that has played as high as it has. I think Todd Bowles is going to somehow fight back against Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid for that in terms of offensive play calling. I think he's going to get the best of it. And I think that's the Buccaneers are going to defensively put the Chiefs' run to the end. I'm gonna go Buccaneers here. I no way confident about it, but I'm gonna go Buccaneers in an upset.
Yeah, I'm rooting for a good game as well, and usually I do pick the underdog. If I don't have a specific team to root for, I do pick the underdog. However, it's just you see the Chiefs and you want to say, oh, okay, they're good, but can they do it all the time? And they have been doing it all the time. And the Bucs secondary really worries me. The fact that they're going to be very, very exploitable by Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And in general, just seeing Kansas City's defense turn up at very important moments is something amazing. to be frank.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think that I am going to go with Kansas City. They're my rooting interest for this game, I suppose. I said before the championship games, I said I'm rooting for whichever AFC team is in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because I obviously wouldn't be rooting for the Packers, and I don't want to see Brady win again. So there you go.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's gonna be a great game. I'm super looking forward to it. I will say a part of the reason that I made the pick too is that I think since you said that you were rooting for the AFC and that you probably would pick this way, that was another reason why I wanted to go Buccaneers, because I figured let's make it interesting on our last podcast. Let's go. Yeah. Let's play our picks here. And of course, when I say last podcast, that is not the case overall.
No.
This is our last podcast of the active season, and folks, I do want to thank everyone who's out there who has supported us during this wild season. We took on a very weird initiative with the VBBFL, and we're coming to a close soon on that front. And it's just been a ball to do, and we want to thank everyone who helped build that. And I want to just thank everyone who has been with us and listening to every single episode, listening to us ramble about bullshit, letting us, talk about funny things, talk about serious things, and it's just been a blast to this point. And
yeah, with how many ball jokes we make, the fact that we can also have some serious discussions, and I think this is of all of our podcasts, this is the best one to do it with, just since it is more of a weekly thing. Mm-hmm. There are important social issues with the NFL as a league, just with the populace that it has.
100%.
Social issues affect it as much as anything else, and turning a blind eye to them would be irresponsible.
100%.
So
yeah. Go ahead if you want to.
But that being said, we do say the words ball handling a lot.
A lot,
especially on Saturdays, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Oh yeah. Y'all never know what we mean by that. What's going to be the off season going to look like? Right now, the weekly podcast thing, we're going to do it through the rest of VBBFL, at least try to get that done. And then we'll probably be moving back to our once every 2 weeks, formula that we were doing. You could look forward to us rebuilding and reconstructing the VBBFL for season 2 of that.
That's gonna be fun as shit.
You could look forward to our big episode where we break down the next 2 entries in John Boyce's 1776 series.
That'll probably be sometime in May. 2021 still needs to come out.
Right. Yeah. Once that comes out, we'll have the full slate.
We'll have the breakdown of it all. And
I would love to have a guest on for that, whether it be whoever it may be from our friend group. I would love
probably Walsh.
Yeah, and to get his reaction to all 3 entries if he reads all 3.
Yeah.
So we'll have that big episode, and of course we'll talk free agency, we'll talk the draft. It's still very weird times. Who knows what craziness is going to happen? We've already seen one crazy offseason thing happen already. Well, few if you want to count some of these head coaching hires that happened. Fucking David Culley.
Jesus.
But I will say though, that was at least like the first black hire of the whole offseason. That was too little too late for the NFL on that one.
Yep. Real quick,
Urban Meyer, my God, I keep forgetting about that too.
Oh, that's gonna be so bad, Chris.
Looking forward to
any huge off-season predictions, trades, signings, whatever?
Oh, I would definitely want to do that next week, but if I wanted to do like an early one here, just in case it happens in the next like week or so, I'll say there's another quarterback trade, but it does not include Deshaun Watson.
Damn. I will say there is, and Deshaun Watson will be a Panther.
Okay.
That is like my biggest off-season want. I think I told you this already. If that happens, I am buying a teal Watson jersey immediately.
Yeah. Do the Bears have a first round pick this year?
Yes.
Hey.
But it's a late first round pick.
No. All right. Well, I wouldn't. Let's not rule out the Bears. Making up for their draft mistake.
Can you fucking imagine that? No, hold on. We need to extend this podcast. Can you fucking imagine the storyline of Ryan Pace being, we didn't even interview Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Before the draft. Mm-hmm. Draft Mitch Trubisky over him and Mahomes. Trubisky sucks ass. Mm-hmm. And then Ryan Pace somehow manages, despite like very clearly not believing in Watson and giving Watson no fucking reason to want to come here.
just picking him up.
Just get him. He just gets him.
Hey, what's up, man? Sorry we slided you. Yeah. It's welcome to the team, the Bears.
The Bears. Here's a defense.
Here's a defense. Here's if you could re-sign him, here's Allen Robinson. Yeah, let's play ball. I don't know. That is going to be one of the most intriguing off-season storylines, and we'll break that down. We'll talk some off-season stuff in next week's Super Bowl recap podcast. We'll break down the game. We'll break down the winner, and we will go into the off season, breaking that down, and we'll give you guys an update at what we're going to be doing for basically the month of February as we close out the VBBFL.
Indeed,
it is an exciting football month indeed. Once again, guys, thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you post Super Bowl.
Good Super and good Bowl. Virtual Ball Boys has been brought to you by Team Chaos Productions. Find us on Twitter at Virtual Ball Boys and find more of our work at Team Chaos Pods.